Hey, my name's Peter Moran, and I'm working on the drone team at Duke Conservation Technology. So the main thing with our project is we're trying to track animals using a drone. Giving researchers the location of animals, they can help understand them better and understand their behaviors better. Now for us, we're looking at turtles, so you could put a GPS tracker on them. But if you wanted to say track 100 of them, that would require 100 of these trackers, and that can become costly, and eventually they fall off and need to be replaced. So instead, by using these tags, which are really just a convenient identifier for this camera to see that computers are really good at finding, it's only a few cents for each tag. And when they fall off, you can just replace them. We actually have a few different kind of components going on. First of all, we got this whole drone here. One of the cool things about it is this here is actually a computer, and this is also what controls the flight, and that makes it really easy to work with and easy for everyone to develop on. But we also have this little cube here, and this is essentially a supercomputer. So here is, specifically this is called the NVIDIA TK1, and here is the main thing. Under this fan is the processor, and it's like a specialized processor that's really good at doing stuff like computer vision. And because this is so small, because there's so few parts on it, it uses low power, and we can power it off of a battery. This is our camera that we bought specialized for computer vision. It is very tiny, but it actually gives us 4K video, and it's nice and easy to use with the USB. So we got this computer, and so we can just plug these cameras into it. And then you take this Ethernet cord and you can plug that in here, and now we're connected to the drone. But for the computer vision, really what's important is these tags. So the computer actually knows how to look for these. In every frame, it's looking for squares, and then it checks like, is it the kind of encoded square that we have here? And since it knows the size of this square, it can figure out the distance away from the camera. It can figure out the sizes of things around it. And then all of this in here, this is essentially the part that's like a QR code. They'll all look different, and it represents a number. And so we can kind of track each animal as an individual and understand how are they interacting with each other. And it's actually doing all this tracking live. You land, it's there. When it's flying, you can see it. That also lets us do things like track animals, and you can do that live. So right now, we've essentially gotten the basics of flying around, seeing these tags, and logging the GPS location of our drone. Now the one thing that we're kind of looking to add in on top of that is we can identify these tags, but also the way they are, because we know the size of them and because we know their kind of original shape, you can actually get the position of these tags relative to the camera and produce an even more accurate estimate of the turtle's location itself. Beyond just kind of like using this drone for other applications, we'd like to make it work more easily for the researchers themselves. So most likely we'd make an app that could connect to the drone, and then the drone can just pay attention and look for commands. So there's a lot of things like that we want to add. There's really a lot of different things you can do by tracking these animals, and we're just trying to do this in a cheaper way. And I think really it's just interesting overall because this not only can be applied to the turtles, but we think this is kind of like a platform for DCT to use for a lot of different remote sensing applications. There's also been a lot of interest from some of our contacts about sea lions. That's one of the cases where they're interested in tracking the spread of disease. Sea lions are not going to be as easy to track as turtles because you can't just have one side that's guaranteed to be up all the time. So that is something that we still have to think about and how we want to do. Our future plans, like I said, is especially get this to work more reliably. We're actually upgrading our computer because that will make it easier to work with, and it's like 4 times as powerful, which means we can get better data. I mean, what we really hope is to make something that actually gets used. I think this is kind of common across all of DCT, and maybe it doesn't always get mentioned, but we're looking at projects that we think are of actual value. The real impact that we're looking for is to get this in the hands of researchers and for them to use it. So kind of looking forward, maybe we'll be working with the Marine Lab to integrate into their systems, and then they can use it for their own research. And that would be really amazing, again, is to get these people to actually use it and have this real world impact.
Oh my god.
That was a good landing.
Beautiful landing.